Hi, this is Majin, and I went through some more comics, and I thought I'd give you a short stack. Now, also, I saw The Hobbit last night at midnight, and it was a really good movie. Ends horribly, you're going to shake your fists at the screen, but you'll realize before the ending occurs that you're going to get angry. Now, let's get anyways on with the review. Let's start off with Indestructible. I also have Cap, I have Hulk, and Superior Foes, Spider-Man. Now, Indestructible was actually really funny and good. Now, and funny, it's just you have to look at the whole situation. It's not targeting moments where it's like, oh my god, that was hilarious. It's more of the whole situation. Now, what we have here is this, like a 2-bit writer in Hollywood. He's not really what you would call top tier material. He, like he goes on a date. His date leaves him midway for a better option. He's got a really crappy roommate, and he's not really, like having a fantastic life. Well, as fate would have it, his roommate needs to return some DVD or games, and it's like, who has video stores any longer? It's all Redbox or GameFly now. So, that part was like, what year was this written in? But besides, take that into consideration there, and then I started to go back, focus on the story. Now, he goes to the video store, and as fate would have it, he gets robbed. Now, what happens is he tries to interfere with the robbery, and he ends up getting shot in the chest. Well, everybody thinks he's dead, and they leave him for dead. And what happens is, a few minutes later, he just gets up and walks out. Well, security cameras see this, and everybody thinks he's a mutant now. Who gets shot in the chest and gets up, So there's this manhunt now for him. But as, truth would have it, he had a flask in his pocket, and the flask is what saved him. And it's like he's now being targeted. And so now it's this person who has no powers or abilities. He's wanted by the police. There are superheroes, so they're going to be involved somehow later on. And he's just going to go on a whirlwind of adventure against his wishes. And that's what I mean by this is going to be really probably a comical situation, because he's way in over his head. I mean, how are you going to prove you're not really indestructible? If somebody shoots you for real, you're going to die, type thing. So I'm definitely going to get the second issue, and if the second issue is good, then I'll add this to my list. But definitely enjoyable. Next up is Captain America number 14. Now, Remender did a good job writing, and it's a good art, but for me, it needed a little bit more. And I think for me, I was really hoping for a bigger fight between Cap, Falcon, and Nuke. And what I really got here it was pretty much kind of like a political statement. And it's not a political statement as to right or wrong, it's more of a political statement to open up a discussion. Because if you really think about what's going on here is you have an American soldier on a foreign land killing innocent civilians. Well, a photographer takes pictures of it, and it's like they have the chance of confiscating the film, and this way nobody from the outside would know what happens. So what do? Do you let this person take the film outside the zone, or do you confiscate it? And so it's that kind of a opening up of a discussion. What I'm really hoping, though, is at the end, based on the ending of this, that we actually get something from it. If you're gonna say Shield is bad, or Cap is bad, or Nuke is bad, or anything like that, then I want to see a consequence. And so I'm really hoping that that's where this issue is going to go. And if that's the fact, then I'll be perfectly fine with it. But if Remender drops that angle, then I'm like, this is kind of like a disappointment and a waste. Now, Marvel Knights Hulk. I was kind of really worried about this book because, Spider-Man was fantastic. X-Men, horrible. I can't even say one redeeming value for the X-Men Knights book. The Hulk, on the other hand, this was a home run in the vein of Spider-Man. Because this really it's a well-written book. It has a purpose to it. It's not a recycled, oh, here's Sabretooth type thing. And it was just interesting. Basically, what we have is Bruce Banner. He's in France. He gets shot. A woman finds him and basically heals him up a little bit. He wakes up, he doesn't know who he is, where he is, or anything like that. But he's being chased by secret agents. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And he has no clue why. People are getting killed because these people are looking for him. And eventually what happens is when they find him, they inject themselves in with some gamma radiation, and they turn into Hulk-like creatures. And it gets really violent, and it ends with a really good ending where it makes you want to read the next issue. There's also I'm trying to avoid some of the fight scenes, but in terms of the art part, but I can say this: there's this one part where the agents are all hulked up and they're chasing after Banner, and I read it the first time and I was like, wow, this is really good. Then I went back and I reread it again, but this time I visualized it more, and I visualized it thinking it was like a movie. And once I did that, the whole scene became a lot more larger than life, and I really enjoyed it a lot more. So I'm really looking forward to the second issue, and I'm really hoping that this is they can actually pull this out and actually make it a really good miniseries. If you have not been reading the Hulk in years, you might want to give this one a try, just because it's a lot different. In a way, it reminds me a lot more of the classic Hulk type story versus the like the World War Hulk or Indestructible Hulk type stories. But I mean, we'll see where this thing pans out, because we still need Banner to change. Okay, now we have Superior Foes of Spider-Man. This was actually, I was like going, the first 5 issues were good. I really enjoyed it. But I'm like, can this keep it up? And it did. I don't know why this book isn't selling, because it's so well written. Spencer's doing a fantastic job, and it's bringing these characters who are like D-level villains, and it's elevating them to this interesting point where it's like you want to read more about their adventures, because they are just such idiots. And it's everything, the way it's written, the way it's drawn, everything just fits perfectly. And I want more of this. Now, in this issue here, basically what's going on is Boomerang steals a painting, and it's a painting of Dr. Doom, but it's Dr. Doom's real face, and he's doing something in this picture that would be very embarrassing. And so you get a nice little history of the painting. You get a little bit of Boomerang. He's going on a date. It's like what he's thinking about what his baseball career. So all that part I really enjoyed that part. Then you get Owl, and then his superior foe or Sinister Six companions, and that part of the angle. We learn exactly who Beetle is, and all of this has been really good. In a way, this could almost be a TV series, because these are reject supervillains. They're supposed to look stupid, so if you can imagine these guys, these costumes actually work on TV probably, and this is more about them as a personality than within special powers. So this works on so many different levels. And I just wish more people would buy this book, because this book is really, really good. It's different, and it's stuff like this that I wish Marvel and DC would take chances on. Do something different. And I think this is like what needs to. It's basically the type of thing that needs to actually be appreciated more. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video. Facebook, Crunchyroll Anime Reviews. More reviews later. So until next time.